Good evening and welcome to the City of Farmers Branch Planning and Zoning Commission study session. It is presently 6:30 p.m. Monday, October 13th, 2025. I'd like to begin by thanking the commissioners for their service. And up first on our study session agenda, item A1, discuss regular agenda items, which takes us to item C1, consider approval of the September 8th, 2025 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting minutes and take appropriate action. And I believe there was already one correction made, but any other corrections, things to note? All right, well, with that, we'll move on to item D1. We'll conduct a public hearing and consider the request for a specific use permit for a furniture store for a portion of an approximate 1.44 acre property located at 14024 Josie Lane and located within LR2 zoning district, and take appropriate action. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Commissioners. Brian Campbell, planner with the Planning Department. I'll be presenting this case tonight. Just let me know if you have any questions you'd like me to address now, or we can wait till the public hearing. I feel it's pretty straightforward, but.
So, yeah, is it the only reason it's here because furniture store is not an approved use? Is that the only SUP?
That's correct. So the local retail district -2 requires approval of a specific use permit for that use because it's a more high intense use versus, say, if it was in light industrial. So.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you, Brian. We'll look forward to that in the regular session.
Thank you, Commissioners.
And that will take us back to item A2, discuss agenda items for future Planning and Zoning Commission consideration. Commissioners, any items to put forward or note?
You know, we've had some cases come forward with where the code enforcement, or they haven't necessarily abided by all the rules leading up to us, and it's always seems like a very gray area. So I'm wondering if we could get somebody just to describe to us the process. Like if somebody doesn't have a CO, what happens? You know, like just some education about how that process works.
All right. I think what I'm hearing is potentially a future presentation from our code enforcement colleagues, and I think you may have mentioned some goal to have us meet with a lot of folks.
Correct. Yeah, our intent is to provide you some feedback from our other departments, for instance, code enforcement. So typically what happens with code enforcement is it's either proactive or reactive, reactive being we get a complaint in. They go out, they do their site investigation. Based on what they see, they issue, the first is really a notice of violation. The property owner, whether it's commercial or retail, has X number of days to bring that notice of violation into compliance. If they don't, then it escalates beyond that. Sometimes they issue a citation, or they work, a lot of times they actually work with the property owner to try to bring them into compliance. Their goal is not enforcement. To a lot of people, it's a bad connotation, enforcement. So really what they're trying to do is bring these properties into compliance. So that's their main goal, is compliance, not enforcement. But when that's not possible, then they actually issue what they call a summons. That summons is the issuance of a citation, and they end up going to court and pleading their case to either a judge or a jury. And that typically takes about 45 days in order to get to that point. So when you see something that's taking time, it's because it's working its way through the court system and not what's happened through code enforcement. But we'll get code enforcement up in front of us. And typically when they don't have a CO, that means they haven't applied for a permit. So that's just the natural kind of process of going through from a building permit. You apply for a building permit, they have X number of days. We have X number of days to get comments out. Applicant resubmits, and we get another 10 days after that for review. What a lot of individuals don't understand is that they're also competing with other applicants that have submitted applications. So in the system, it gets put into a queue for review. And so you've got that queue, and it's based on date and time. So you're competing with that as well. But if they don't have a permit, then again, it's a code issue. We send out our code enforcement officers, and they put a stop work order on it. And then they come in, we advise them to apply for a permit. They come in for a permit, and that starts that plan review process. But they can't continue that work until they actually get a permit issued. But that's the way it works. But we'll get someone in here from code enforcement. I also want to work with our public works department, because a lot of times issues come up with drainage and roadway improvements and things like that, that you may be interested in. But we'll get other departments in.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. All right. Any other agenda items for future consideration? Yes?
Actually, this is just something that's been puzzling me. In all the training we've done as commissioners, it's been somewhat drilled in that we're reviewing the use and not the user, right? But I'm honestly confused as to how that comes up against the question of SUPs. Because an SUP is for a specific user at a specific location, and that approved use disappears when that user approves. So it seems to me like when we look at an SUP, we are kind of looking at the user. And I guess I'm looking for guidance on how we bring all that together to appropriately review SUPs, because that's really most of what we look at. So maybe I'm the only one that's confused by that, but.
All right. I think, yeah, I'm sure that we can discuss on that further to kind of clarify and make sure that there's a clear understanding. All right. Additional questions, thoughts? All right. Well, with that, we will conclude our study session meeting. It is presently 6:37 p.m., and we will meet back at 7 p.m. For our regular meeting. Thank you all. Good evening and welcome to the City of Farmers Branch Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. It is presently 7 p.m. Monday, October 13th, 2025. And this evening I'd like to begin by thanking the commissioners for their service. Up first is the citizen comments. This agenda item provides an opportunity for citizens to address the Planning and Zoning Commission on any matter that is not posted on the agenda. Anyone wishing to address the commission should complete a citizen's comments registration form and submit it to the chair prior to the start of the meeting. There is a 3-minute time limit for each citizen to speak, with a reasonable limitation on speakers on one topic or item, with a maximum of 15 total minutes on the same topic item. Anyone wishing to speak shall be courteous and cordial. The Planning and Zoning Commission is not permitted to take action on any subject raised by a speaker during citizen comments. When called, please approach the podium and state your name and address prior to beginning your comment. Please direct all comments to the commission and not to the audience. And this evening, we have no one signed up for citizen comments, so we'll consider with our regular agenda items. Up first, item C1, consider approval of the September 8th, 2025 Planning and Zoning Commission minutes and take appropriate action. Commissioners?
I would move to approve the minutes as presented.
Thank you.
I will second.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the item? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor to approve the minutes? All right. Thank you. Any abstentions? Or okay. Thank you. And with that, we will move to our public hearing, item D1. Conduct a public hearing and consider the request for a specific use permit for a furniture store for a portion of an approximately 1.44 acre property located at 14024 Josie Lane and located within the local retail district 2 LR2 zoning district, and take appropriate action. Thank you, Brian.
All right, well, thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Commissioners. Good evening. It's a privilege and a pleasure to be presenting before you this evening. I'm Brian Campbell, planner with the Planning Department, here to present to you tonight on the SUP for 14024 Josie Lane. So this is the subject property. It is zoned Local Retail District -2, and the applicant is requesting approval of a specific use permit for a furniture store. So the applicant is Dar Furniture, a retail furniture establishment that sells a variety of home furnishings as noted in your staff report. So with this, they're requesting SUP approval to set up a store here at this location. With that, the hours of operation will be from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Mondays through Saturdays and noon to 5 p.m. on Sundays. The applicant anticipates deliveries to occur 2 to 3 times per week utilizing box trucks. Regarding parking, the CZO does require 1 space per 800 square feet of gross floor area for furniture stores. So in this situation, the applicant is required to provide 10 parking spaces. The subject property currently holds 82 parking spaces to be shared between this suite and the suite next door, which is addressed as 14034 Josie Lane. So the parking is more than adequate. And then with regards to landscaping, the CZO does require that at least 5% of the property not being used for parking or for the driveway be utilized for landscaping and open space. In this situation, 9% of the subject property is landscaped, and the applicant proposes to maintain this. The applicant does not anticipate having any outdoor storage. However, given the nature of the use, staff did compose the ordinance in such a manner that will allow for outdoor storage of the box trucks. So turning to the recommendations of the Farmers Branch 2045 plan. So the Farmers Branch 2045 plan designates the subject property and the surrounding area as mixed use. With this land use designation, the plan does recommend a healthy mix of uses that'll bring about livability and economic vitality for the area. So with that, the recommended land uses are medium to high density residential, office, commercial, light industry and small manufacturing, and civic parks and open space. And so given that the proposed use is consistent with these recommended uses and is also compatible with existing commercial and retail uses in the area, as well as the potential for this use to provide economic vitality in the area through the furniture store sales, it is consistent with the Farmers Branch 2045 plan. And so on October 13th, we did mail 32 zoning notification letters to all affected property owners within 300 feet of the subject property, as we now require, in addition to both the Carrollton Farmers Branch and Dallas Independent School Districts. As of this evening, we have received one letter in support of the request, and City Council will consider this case at their November 18th meeting. So that concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to take those. We do have the applicant here with us as well, if you have any questions for them. Otherwise, I thank you for your time this evening. Thank you all.
Thank you, Brian. Up first, we'll ask questions for staff. Go ahead, Harold?
Brian, do we know if it's new or used furniture? I'm thinking, could there be any repair or revarnishing, staining, those kinds of issues going on in this property?
To the best of my knowledge, it'll be new furniture, but I will defer to the applicant to confirm that.
Any further questions for staff? All right, thanks again.
Brian,
Oh,
Brian,
Yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry, one question.
Yeah.
I saw on the side it said there was no outdoor storage, but then I thought you said that there was perhaps outdoor storage of box trucks. Can you clarify, will there be outdoor storage of vehicles?
Yes, I can, Commissioner. So the applicant doesn't anticipate having any outdoor storage. However, given the nature of the use, given that this is a furniture store use, staff felt it would be best to write the ordinance in such a manner that would allow for outdoor storage of the box trucks that they use. But it would just be for the box trucks. It wouldn't be for materials or anything else.
So the SUP as presented would permit some limited outdoor storage of box trucks only. Is that? I think
Correct.
that's what you're saying. Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. Go ahead.
This request pertains only to 14024, Josie, but it's adjacent or one big building with 14030. What is the status of that property?
So that suite is currently being used as an office.
Okay. And it will continue to be an office?
For the time being, yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Any further questions for staff?
I'm sorry, I need to make a correction. It's actually retail.
And is that retail under an SUP or is it within existing LR2?
To the best of my knowledge, it's a use that was permitted by right.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
All right. With that, I guess if the applicant doesn't mind, we'd love to hear from them. If you would come up and just state your name and address for the record.
My name is Ruben Rodriguez. I live in 2639 Springvale, and I noticed that the outline was on the blue outline part of it. I'm trying to find out what that's meaning of that on that zoning part of it. Because it shows here on the zoning what's going to happen to my house. I mean, we're trying to figure that out when I got this letter.
Are you you're the applicant, sir?
Well, I'm the owner of the house, but I'm just trying to figure out, I've never done this before, so I'm new at this,
Yeah.
what's going on. But I'm just trying to find out where my house is outlined. What's the meaning of that?
Oh, sure. So this was the notification letter that we sent out. So it was just notifying you about the SUP. It's not going to affect your property
Okay.
specifically.
Okay, that's
that
my only
helps.
question I had.
Okay.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. And is that the applicant as well, or you're the applicant? Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah, sorry about that. I thought he was the applicant.
You're the applicant, sir? Yeah.
Hi there.
Yeah, just state your name and address for the record,
Good
please.
Well Safe. My residence is on 416 Cave River Drive in Murphy, Texas.
Thanks so much. And I think we just had a few questions, just curious about the business, so I think if you wanted to,
No, that was all I had.
yeah, I think it was Harold.
I was curious about the furniture activities, if it was going to be, I know it's retail, but is it going to be brand new furniture or
Yes,
used
sir.
furniture? And my concern was if there would be any spray painting, repair, varnishing, sanding any kind of work
Not
on
at
any
all.
furniture there?
This facility will be used as a showroom for our new furniture, our online. So even like the shipping wouldn't be done out of this facility.
Okay, so
The
it's
only
a
thing would be-
showroom, walk-in and online furniture?
It's not online either. It's a design center.
Okay.
People will come and design their furniture.
Oh, thank you. That's
Thank
all I
you. You're
need
most
to know.
welcome. Other questions?
Anything else for our applicant? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So with that, it is a public hearing. I know we did have one member of the public who had a comment on the public hearing, but if there are any others, we can hear those now. Any other questions from, okay, so thank you.
And I guess I would move that we close the public hearing.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion on the item? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor to close the public hearing? All right, thank you kindly. All right, and with that, we'll hear action on the item.
I would move to approve as is.
Okay, a recommendation for approval of the special use permit as presented?
I will second that.
All right, and all those, any further discussion on the item? Seeing none. All those in favor to recommend approval? All right, and with that, it goes to City Council on November 18th.
That's correct.
Thank you, Brian, for preempting me on that. And
You're welcome. Thank you, Commissioners.
all right, and with that, we will adjourn. It is presently 7:11 PM. Thank you all.